Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at BellyUpSports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
U.S. men's national team, their friendlies after the Greg Berhalter era starts September 7th versus Canada in Kansas City, Missouri, and September 10th versus New Zealand in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is, once again, the start of the new era. Pochettino has not been signed yet, but from what I've been reading, Pochettino has been helping out in the selection process for this U.S. men's team. So we'll see how this one goes. We'll see if we see a little bit of Pochettino's tactics being applied. But all right, let's get going. So goalkeepers, we got Ethan Horvath from Cardiff City. We have Diego Kochen from FC Barcelona 2. Patrick Schulte from Columbus Crew, and Matt Turner from Crystal Palace. I think pretty straightforward, man, as far as goalkeepers go. Matt Turner, I think it's Matt Turner. I think Matt Turner is going to be the starting goalkeeper. Ethan Horvath is probably the backup. Patrick Schulte will be the third string. And I think Diego Kochen is just there to learn. Obviously, this is the American that's over there at Barcelona. Everyone's very intrigued by him. A lot of people are already like, oh, he's our future goalkeeper, forgetting that Gaga Slonina even exists. So I think it's an interesting name to bring in, to have him come into the U.S., to come to the U.S. camp and learn from Matt Turner, Ethan Horvath, and even Patrick Schulte, who I think has done very well. Obviously was the starting goalkeeper for the Olympic team. So I think very, very intriguing setup right there. All right, so defenders, we got Austin Trusty, who just recently got a move to Celtic. Marlon Fossey, who currently plays at Standard Liège over in Belgium. Christopher Lund from Palermo is coming back to the U.S. team. Mark McKenzie, made the move to Toulouse in France. Tim Ream, the new Charlotte FC man, is also getting called up. Chris Richards from Crystal Palace. Joe Scally from Borussia Mönchengladbach. And Caleb Wiley, who did get transferred to Chelsea, but did get loaned out to Strasbourg in France. No Sergino Dest because he's still dealing with an injury, I believe. As well as Jedi Anthony Robinson also as well. I think are dealing with some injuries, so that's why they're not getting called up for this one. I think this is a very interesting set of defenders. Joe Scally, probably be the guaranteed starter. Be intrigued by Caleb Wiley. I think Marlon Fossey and Christopher Lund could be someone to keep a close eye on. I think we're definitely going to see Tim Ream start. I think that you don't bring him up unless you're planning on starting him. Chris Richards and Mark McKenzie are the two guys that I think of. Austin Trusty could be an interesting name for sure as far as the back line goes. Midfield, we got Johnny Cardoso from Real Betis. He was rumored to go to Tottenham. Thank God that didn't happen. Luca De La Torre from Celta Vigo over in Spain as well. Aiden Morris, the man that just got moved to Middlesbrough. Yunus Musa from AC Milan. Gio Reyna from Borussia Dortmund. I think it's interesting that they labeled him as a midfielder. And Malik Tillman from PSV Eindhoven. Weston McKennie is not featured. I think he's also dealing with some injury issues. But I think that this opens up an opportunity to see how deep this team is and what exactly we're getting for the midfield. Are we going to see a 10? Because like I said, we know the formation that Pochettino prefers is the 4-2-3-1 formation. Could this be where we see a Cam? Maybe Johnny Cardoso and Yunus Musa and Gio Reyna midfield. Do we see that? Aiden Morris, probably another holding midfielder type. Luca Del Torre, also someone to be looking at. But you do have 2 10s here with Gio Reyna and Malik Tillman. So I think that it's going to be interesting to see what exactly and one that can also play a little bit of a 10 in Yunus Musa. So I think that's an interesting group of midfielders. The forwards, we got Brendan Aronson from Leeds United, Folarin Balogun from Monaco, Ricardo Pepi from PSV Eindhoven, Christian Pulisic from Italy, Josh Sargent getting a call up as well, and Haji Wright from Coventry City. I'm very intrigued by this. Obviously, Christian Pulisic, guaranteed starter. The way I'm seeing it, bro, because like there's a lot of nines. Brendan Aronson might be the other winger, unless they choose to put Gio Reyna on the opposite side of the wing, or you can also have Yunus Musa there as well. But it is a lot of strikers: Haji Wright, Josh Sargent, who can also play on the wing, Balogun, and Ricardo Pepi. That is a total of 4 nines, ideally. So I think that this is going to be a very interesting to see how these formations are lined up. But if I had to say, if it is the 4-2-3-1 formation that I'm thinking of, goalkeeper, I think it's Matt Turner. I'm just gonna say that right there. I think Matt Turner is the starting goalkeeper. For your back line, I think you're gonna have Joe Skelly at right back. I think you'll have Chris Richards and Tim Ream as your center back pairing. Maybe Mark McKenzie, switch Mark McKenzie and Chris Richards, and then on left, I would like to see Caleb Wiley, but I think we're gonna see Christopher Lunn. Christopher Lunn on that left side, but it could be Caleb Wiley depending on how he does in camp. The midfield, I'm gonna say we have Gio Reyna at the 10, and then Johnny Cardozo and Yunus Musa being that back 2. But I feel like Yunus Musa will see him be moved a little more freely in the midfield. But whereas Johnny Cardozo will be your 6, your actual, your destroyer. Forwards, I'm gonna say we're gonna have Brendan Aronson on the right, Christian Pulisic on the left, and I'm gonna see, this is the interesting part, right? Because Balogun and Pepi maybe not necessarily having as much minutes as they can right now with their teams. Josh Sargent and Haji Wright have been getting minutes. Do we see a Haji Wright, or do we see Josh Sargent? I think that could be interesting. I will say, if things stay the same with the U.S., maybe it's Ricardo Pepi and then Balogun starting and then Pepi coming off the bench. So it's interesting, right? Very interesting how this is gonna look. But I'm gonna say Balogun starts at the 9th spot for the US. So I can't wait. Like I said, September 7th versus Canada in Kansas City, Missouri. September 10th versus New Zealand in Cincinnati, Ohio. Man, I can't wait to see what this new US team is gonna look like for sure.